Okay, what do we got? It's gonna post the YouTube link. All right, links are done. Everything's updated. Looking at futures, we broke down out of an ascending triangle yesterday, late in the afternoon. I did buy some SPY Lotto puts for monthly expiration, so they expire next Friday. And I'm hoping for some bearish continuation, but I'm not sure how much we're going to get if we keep bouncing off of this 50% level. There's the likelihood that this holds, and then we maybe bounce off this. We could move still. I still see this target as the main target for futures. So I showed you guys this before. This is the momentum line, or magnet line, I should say, that I believe price is being attracted to. But if we get below, again, this 50% retracement level is key. So if we don't hold this, we could react and retrace and possibly make a head and shoulders. You could see a left shoulder here, head, right shoulder, and then maybe bottom again at lows. So, but we do have some angular supports to support it. There's also the 9 EMA on the daily, 20 EMA are also holding this up now. Let's switch to, hang on, there we go. It's a little bit more congested. But there you see the 9 and 20. So very funny, right? When we're in a downtrend, you guys will notice that when the 9 and 20 start to pinch, almost what you would think would be a bullish crossover is typically where price starts to turn bearish, where we start to see a reversal. And you saw it right here. You saw it right here. 9 and 20 crossover was absolutely bearish here because we were in an uptrend. But now that we've been in a downtrend, you get these typical bullish crossovers, 9 crossing over 20, and again, ends up being bearish. We're close to that 50 SMA too. That has been an area of strong resistance here. So it's possible we never get past the 50. So that's kind of the big picture. There's lots of stuff going on. Like Chris just said, Estat, the shutdown will affect it soon. It might. You never know. You never know how the stock prices are going to react to news. You just kind of have to wait and see. Over to SPY, pretty much the same charts setup. Levels I'm watching on SPY. This level's been holding. This was yesterday's intraday low. I believe it was the pre-market low on yesterday as well. So interesting to see this level hold up. But it did make a new kind of low, so we're going to be watching that. And then we're also going to be watching this 258.91 high level. We can delete this because this pattern is broken. So we've got a couple of downside targets. There's that 200 SMA and the 5-minute likely to try to hold it down, maybe push us lower today. But I'll be looking at all these different levels, and then we'll spot the patterns when they pop up. So that is SPY. I do have a Facebook in a interesting setup as well. Been in a uptrend for what, the last 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Going into our 5th day, pre-market low, pretty much acting the same as SPY. Pretty much followed it almost to a T, where it tested a similar pattern. Let's see what we got. Might be an ascending pattern, maybe. We might be trading inside this kind of ascending wedge. Ascending triangle, a little bit of a flat top. So I really would like to trade options on this bad boy. This is still kind of like starting to roll over a little bit. I feel like we need to like retest this this breakout line. I've showed you guys this before. This was a major resistance zone. So my instinct is we start to roll over and eventually we test this line, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We could also pop off this 9 EMA on the 4-hour, and let's see on the hourly. It's probably, yeah, it's just below the 9 EMA. What's priced at 143.36. So Facebook might be on the menu today. There are, oh, let me turn my volume down so you guys don't hear all these beeps. There are shippers going wild. So DCIX and Tops, both of these popped a couple days ago. Now we're getting a much bigger pop. This stock is famous for I forget how high it went, into the 30s. I feel like it was. Can't remember. Was it this? I think it was this. No. There was a while back where DCIX I think went to the 30s, and it just ripped. It ripped like, I don't know, I think it was 400 or 500%. So these ones can go crazy sometimes, but don't bet on it. So they're still pump and dumps. They're still fast movers, really low floaters, volatile, risky, all of those things. There's kind of not really a clean pattern on it right now. I would really just watch for this to break that 140 level, or $1.40 level rather. And I think I need to redraw my fibs. Let's take a look and see. Yep, I definitely need to redraw. Now it's funny that this fib level still caught it. That was the 161. But we want to adjust this and really go from this recent high here to this recent low, just to get as accurate as possible and really just clear the whole drawing set. Go right to here, right to here. And I want to make sure I get this candle pretty close. I feel like that's pretty close. Maybe a penny or two off, and then we just check our fib lines and see. So now we know that this is potentially the magnet up here, 167. That looks like a good upside target now. So again, we'll watch that $1.40 level and we'll look for some kind of pivot. Definitely have a bit of a megaphone too forming. You can see that angular resistance through here. Doesn't quite get a little bit closer. All right, kind of got above it a little bit there. All right, so that's DCIX. The other one I was going to look at for you guys was NPIX. This one's already dumped pretty heavily. Was up big, and it looks like, let's mark out 50, 200. Pulling back to that 50 SMA right there on the daily. So that could be nice. This could be a nice potential bounce zone. Sometimes when these things pump and dump, they revert to their mean. So this was kind of like the channel uptrend. It's also, there's some support through here. So it's possible this thing crashes right through here and goes all the way back to its baseline if it's just going to follow through in typical pump and dump fashion. But this line right here looks like kind of immediate support. Again, that's near that 50 SMA. So this one could be good. There's definitely room to run up to the 200. We'll have to see if money flows into it today, if it gets the volume. So those are kind of my two Yeah, major pump and dump. Those are kind of the two penny stocks that I'm looking at, INPX and DCIX right now. I was looking at AYTU, but it just doesn't have the volume. It's got the uptrend, which is nice. It's been in this nice uptrend for a little while now, and now it's got resistance in that $1.14, $1.15 level. It's pretty much failed through here every time, but there is another day where it really peaked up high above that 200 SMA on the hourly and ripped, but I'm not expecting much. But I do have an 8. I'm watching 8 charts now. I was watching 6, but my widescreen monitor can handle this, so I'm going with 6. So we're going to be watching at the open VIX, SPY, AMD, Apple, Facebook, DCIX, INPX, and I'll probably replace ATYU or AYTU because it just doesn't look like it's going to do anything. So not sure. Let's see, you guys, what symbols are you guys watching today? Thanks for sharing that, Gust. Yeah, PRPO. I noticed somebody mentioned that earlier. Yeah, penny stock. Okay. Cup and handle. Might be making a handle right through here, close to where it's making its high. Let's see what the daily. All right, we got some room to the 200. There's the 200 up here. So for penny stock traders, this could be a fun one to trade today. You got, let's see, this high. Let's look at the pattern. It's probably a bit of a falling wedge. Sorta. It just broke this kind of falling wedge down channel. Not with any real type of authority, but it squeezed out, and yeah, it might be headed to 35, 36 cents potentially today. That would be a big move for it. You guys, some people watching Twitter. Yeah, BBBY, that must have had earnings today, I'm assuming. Yep. So this one will be volatile, much larger float. This one would probably be a more safe one to trade, I would say. I don't know if I would do options on it right now, but trading shares, that could be the way to go. It's kind of in this symmetrical triangle with upside, low side potential either direction. Let's see where that 200 is. 200 is up here. Here, 50's down here. There's also there's that gap. So really, I mean, I could just mark out the fib levels on this, but I wanted to mark out the gap area through here. And actually this lines up nice. With that resistance right there. So this one might be nice. I think I'm going to replace AYTU with BBBY. And we got 2 minutes to go. I got my options watch list. We'll talk a little bit about options in a little bit. But man, yeah, look at Twitter. Look at Twitter go. Ooh, right up to that 200 SMA already, huh? So we might top out here. We might reject. I don't know. This is kind of where I would expect momentum to slow down. Right there. This might be a good one to... I mean, hey, momentum carries it above the 200, then ride the wave, but be prepared for 200 SMA dailies to act pretty strongly. I gotta get. I don't know. I think chips in general were all kind of have been all kind of acting crazy since we busted this secondary rising wedge pattern, ascending pattern. So I don't think it was just AMD, but I think it was more or less the same scenario, right? There's the rising channel, rising wedge that failed, and all chips did the same thing. Looks like Nvidia did a little bit better, but I don't know. AMD traders, investors they get spooked easy, and it's looking like maybe we get a pivot area here, but we're already breaking the pre-market lows for AMD, so we are open. Let's see. I'm watching. Yep, AMD sell off. Let's stick on this one. This one's probably going to pull back to that $19 level. At this point, it's below yesterday's low. Let's see. Oh, there's a little bit of support right here. That is the next low. Let's see how price reacts. Oh, it already got through it. Yep. So 19 bucks. That's this low through here. Likely on AMD. All right, let's see. Let's just do a quick check. See what we got for setups. SPY might be lots of volume on SPY so far. Could be covering, you know, there was a lot of shorts, I'm sure, overnight. All right, let's pull this up here. All right, so we're watching, let's see, we don't need time and sales right now. DCIX, INPX right here, looking a little bullish. Trying to get above that 9 EMA and VWAP on the 5. Let's see, what's VIX doing? There is kind of a bit of a breakout on the VIX. AMD, we're looking for 19 bucks. Let's see what happens with SPY here. I'm holding up the 1-minute chart for now. Facebook cracking this wedge. I need to add some space to this chart right here because I added two more spaces. Looks like INPX is the one that's trying to put together something. There we go. Yep, INPX has got the volume in the move. SPY looking weak. Let's see if it cracks that support. There's got one more support underneath it to hold it up. Right there. So I am still holding those puts from overnight. We'll see if we can unload those in a good spot today. Yeah, I did see UXIN on the gap scan with trade ideas. Looks like PRPO is moving. Let me replace BBY with PRPO. Look at that. Remember, on this one, penny stock, dangerous, and the upside was kind of capped at 30, what do we say, 35? Right through here. There you see the falling wedge on that 4-hour, pretty clean, huh? So let's see if there's any resistance on this one. Definitely got some through here. You know, and you don't have to chase these ones, wait for a 90 EMA, dip buy, pull back. SPY, all these moving averages bundled up real tight like this. And then you see these candles printing below those pre-market lows. Very, very bearish signal that we're likely headed to 255.50. Okay, let's see. I gotta refresh my TrendSpider screen. Facebook looking bearish. Apple still kind of hanging tough. Hasn't rolled over as much as the others through here. Let's see, let's mark out that pre-market low. Right about there. So kind of tight ranges on Apple. I'm not liking this one as much for a trade today. The way all these, the way it's kind of boxed in. It's kind of boxed in a little bit tight for my liking. You got 151 to 153. I mean, there is a range that's tradable through here. I'd like to see a really strong bounce off of this 151.50 support. Maybe we could snag some calls and scalp them till 153.50, right? $2 move. There's the break in the VIX, so you're seeing some bullishness with this. So we should see SPY maybe bear flag a little bit here and move lower. But right now, this is still my target. This 255.50. And is Facebook good for puts? I like trading puts on it. I don't know if I would buy them here because you've only got 50 cents to go till it hits support, and that's a little bit. I like to have at least $1.50, maybe $2 move, you know, planned into my trade. And I don't really. You could maybe wait for this 9 EMA test on the 5-minute, but then also hold a 1-minute chart and just see if this bear flags. Now SPY is like reversing majorly right here. Major reversal. Let's see. Let's check the economic calendar. There is new home sales in 22 minutes. I don't see anything else for this to. I don't think this is a news-driven move or anything like that. Just a pop off that oversold. So gonna hold those puts still. Again, Facebook, that's your support on Facebook. If anything, you'd look for maybe a reversal there or a bounce, retest, and then maybe look to short again. PRPO tanked heavily. So that's the pump and dump story right there. INPX, nothing going on through here. Still close to that 9 EMA in the 5-minute. DCIX, nothing too exciting yet with this one either. Kind of capped. Really, I'd look for maybe some kind of reversal for AMD. See, Facebook's almost hit its target. So here's the other big thing I'm looking at, guys. This is something that TrendSpider's awesome at. So I have a daily chart up. And I have the daily and weekly moving averages, all the ones that I watch. And I just got rid of all the trend lines to really just look at another type of analysis, and these daily candles have rejected this weekly moving average of the 9 EMA. That's this green one right here. Pretty well. It's gotten above it briefly, but not often. It's acted as pretty strong support. So you could always make a mark right here. And if a 5 minute, what happened to the 5 minute candle? I'll just do a 10 minute, no big deal. So if any 10 minute candle breaks this line, but now you can see it highlighted, acted as strong resistance. So we've also got Williams R rolling through. So when we see these rollovers through here, this is the daily time frame. It typically coincides with a new downtrend. We've already started to kind of roll over, so kind of helps me with my bearish trade, swing trade on SPY, and I'm looking for at least a 20 EMA through here. So that would put SPY at 254.50. That's just going off the trend spider chart, which is actually below this level here. I've got 255.50 there. So let's see. You know, it's going to be a little bit of a chop fest for the first 20 minutes, half hour. There is a move being built, right? There is either a decent downside move or upside move, and you're placing your bets at where these wicks are forming. A lot of wicks forming. 256.30s, 256.40, showing strong bears through here. This is typically where shorts are looking to load up, and the bulls are taking it not far below, just 40 cents below that. But eventually this range is going to crack to the upside or downside, and then you'll know. Bought puts on that pop. Nice. Loans with me. I like that. So we'll see if we can get that. I like the spike here in the VIX. Facebook's at support. PRPO penny stock just dumped. This is why even with these penny stocks, always trade hotkeys. It's just, this one's just a mess. You'll see this thing crash all the way down to here, and then you'll see a pump again. Just pump dump, pump dump. DCIX, I don't think anything's going to really happen with this one so far. Volume has dropped off quite a bit. AMD still hasn't touched that $19 level. That's a pretty key level. And if you were going to try to short some shares of AMD, which is pretty easy, you'd look for any type of doji off this 9 EMA through here, or really strong rejection of VWAP, 5-minute VWAP. Let's see what Facebook does now that it's at support. Might be. Let's see if we can get a pattern. Hope you guys don't mind me showing all these charts at once. It's kind of fun for me to do something different. Hey, bare feet. Good to see ya. All right, so I'm just monitoring these trend spider candles. Let's see, 5-minute. I'll show you guys something else that's kind of cool. All right, let me show you guys this. There we go, SPY. All right, so trend spider chart. I got just the daily moving averages and Bollinger Bands pulled up. And we don't even really need the Williams. So I have no trend lines on this chart. But look at the 20 EMA. So watch how these 5-minute candles react when they get close to that 20 EMA. They have bounced, and we're likely going to do it today if we break these after hours pre-market lows through here. And that's that 255. It looks like they're saying 255.73. So I think that's interesting. You got the 9 EMA down here, you got the 20, and you got the I can't remember if this is the middle Bollinger Band. Oh no, wait, that's the 9 EMA. This one right here. Yeah, it's the middle Bollinger Band. Okay. All right, let's get that out of the way. So you can see I was trying to find a falling wedge. I don't like the steepness of these type of falling wedges. They usually don't hold too well. They usually squeeze out. I like to see more of a falling wedge that's got more of an angle like this versus, you know, something that comes down heavy like that. So this is the current falling wedge. This is hypothetically what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to trade in this type of pattern through here. You see the VIX kind of pumping up. And let's establish some support and resistance through here too. So you got that to worry about. You got that. You got some levels here. And I guess you could count this spike. That was kind of a oddity yesterday. So let's see how it reacts here. This could get rejected very easily. A lot of stocks at support right now. You got Facebook, Apple at close to support, AMD close to support. INPX maybe getting some juice. Let's see if this 5-minute candle closes above its predecessors. Maybe some dip buying right here. There's that red hammer. Yeah, I used the 50 SMA, 100, and I used 199 because it's the beta version, and it wouldn't let me do it wouldn't let me put in 200 for some reason. It was really odd. I'm gonna try. They've updated it, so I'm actually gonna try to fix that now because I haven't tried it again in a while. All right, let's see if it goes to 200. Nope. Oh, it did. There it goes. Yeah. Yeah, there was no technical reason for that other than it technically wouldn't enter for me. So here we go. SPY very close to, according to TrendSpider, pre-market lows. You know what's kind of nice about TrendSpider is it puts this I don't want to sound like an advertisement for TrendSpider, guys. I'm really using it. So let me just throw that. No one's insinuated that, but I do know I'm chatting a lot about it. And yeah, I think it's a useful tool. But I keep seeing all these different ways to use it that are helpful. And thank you, trader. Yep, you can follow TrendSpider on Twitter too. They post a lot of awesome charts. I like how there's the price line, right? Price is currently at this level, and it's just price action, guys. I do see a falling wedge through here, right? So I kind of wish I could draw my own lines. I know they said that's coming, but I would like to turn all lines off sometimes and then just draw my own. And I can see a line through here, and I mean, it's potentially, if I turn this on, it'll find it. But it kind of puts these other lines that I don't need, so it's a bit of a pain for intraday trading sometimes because you gotta like go, all right, I don't really need this line. I'm missing all that. I'm missing this angle through here, so I actually, this line already broke, so I'd remove this. Now that's an interesting support. That is kind of the line that I was looking at coming through. But I'm more interested in this I know it's going to put a line. Yeah, this is the one I wanted it to find. So I'm going to lock that line. Then I'm going to go back to most relevant. And I probably wouldn't even hold till this line, so I'd get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. See how it starts to open up when I delete my lines? Now this is what I was looking at. So this is where, if this holds, I might close my position here. I might close my position off of this instead of waiting for the 20 EMA. Is anyone else having trouble with the Trade Ideas screen share? It looks like Tony's been having issues. Join.me/APPS. Alright, so the Trade Ideas, you definitely need you want a stable connection, and the app is going to do that versus using your browser to view our Trade Ideas screen share. And there you go, a little bit of a pop right here. Still just going to hold through here on these puts, but I got to pay attention. Yeah, Apple broke the support, but you got other stocks kind of close to their supports. I think they got a little further to go. We'll let SPY Pop test one of these moving averages. Maybe test the top of this wedge. But I love this stuff, guys. I really do. I really do. I love showing you guys how to use this tool. Even just going through the whole process with TrendSpider and removing all those trend lines, it really opens it up nice and clean. And now you got a clear picture, you know, and you can see right through here, pretty close to this 20-day. That is acting as the magnet. Now, if price starts breaking out of this line, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. We can even throw the daily fibs up here. We can throw 5-minute fibs. There's a lot we can do. So when I trade SPY, I actually want to look at the SPY chart, the VIX chart, and you also want to look at the option that you have a position in, that chart as well. Let me see if I can pull that one up for you guys. Yeah, we're still moving much lower. I'm actually going to load up some other options because I'm interested in 255 level for puts. And also calls. And let's see, these are the 253s. Actually don't have those on my watch list. I should. Alright, let's link that. Alright, so this would be the other chart that you would need to watch. So you'd have to watch the SPY, the VIX, which looks like it's ripping. VIX has resistance at 2160, so fear is going up. Even with SPY going up, fear is still going up. And here's that 200 SMA. So this is going to act as resistance for my position, so I might sell here. There's also momentum breakout above that 200 SMA on these put options. So it might go parabolic from here, and we might get a big 50% retracement. So $50 retracement would be awesome. You're not always going to get it. It's not as common with stocks or with options charts. Excuse me, hang on one sec. All right, you guys getting paid on the SPY puts. That's awesome. So, unlike stocks, option put charts and call charts don't always, when you get the pattern, so like a typical pattern, like if I got a falling wedge breakout on a daily or an hourly on a stock and I was trying to target a 50% retracement, it's more of a higher probability with the stock versus the put option chart or call chart because of the different variables. But you can still mark out your fib lines. They still work. And it's going to bounce off of or be attracted to, it's either going to reject or be magnetically pulled to one of these fib lines, depending on what the stock is doing. So interesting here, right? We're at this pivot point. We've got this fib level at 226. But lo and behold, SPY is at support a little bit through here, determined just by previous day's low, or right there's the pre-market low, 255.46. So we're pretty close to that right now. We could start to bounce. This wedge has opened up a little bit. It's actually kind of looking more aggressive of a wedge now, which makes me want to consider selling. I might actually take profit and then reload on these. So I'm gonna take my my profit on these options here soon. I don't really want to see this reject through here. I don't want to let this get all the way back up to the open levels. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do that now and just get it over with. It wasn't a very big position, but let's just take profit on those. Let me go. Oh, thanks Creed for posting that. So it might have been premature, but you know what? If I want to, I'll load. I would really like to let this bounce for starters. Reject again. Break this 255 low. And there's another trade. There's another trade lower, and realistically I could just wait for this level to break through here. Because if we get in this situation where we just trade in this triangle, that's just going to kill the options. Because look, that's 255.15 to 255.77. That sucks. That's a sucky range to try to buy long calls or puts. And then you see what's happening here. So I don't feel bad about taking my profit here, because this tight little wedge that formed, starting to break, and yeah, it could retest it and then run, or it could just fall right back into it. But I wasn't comfortable holding based on the pattern, based on where we hit fairly close to pre-market lows. I'm getting a little bit better, especially in this market with within 10-15 cents, taking your profit of it support level because everybody wants to get filled at these levels, right? This is where people want a safe early exit before liquidity dries up. And this is where bulls want to jump in a little bit early and get a good position for a bounce. So you see something like this is really good stuff that I'm showing you guys today. This is really good stuff to let sink in. Where the heck did my oh, there they are. All right, let's get this out of the way. So these are 256 calls, right? And this just made a 4. This actually is interesting here. This one did make a 50% retracement. All right, so boom, 100%, 50, oversold, bounce time, and if you bought this dip, you're already up 10, 15 bucks. So let's keep an eye on these calls today. Looks like that hourly momentum might be starting to turn around a little bit. I tell you what, one thing's for sure. You want to count on something, it's on the ability and the impatience of the bears to jump the gun on trying to short and getting squeezed. And now look at this. We're starting to break this. And let's get a fresh analysis. Undo, I'm going to do undo hiding that one because it looks like we might go back there. What's that? 257.29. Yep. Yep. That's very possible. It's very possible. Now I'm kind of interested to see if this, there's no line right here, but there is, right? It didn't draw one for us, but we have to pay attention to that. So I might grab these 256 calls at some point today. Good stuff, Lon. All right, so we're at the 200 SMA at the 1. 5 is probably pretty. All right, yeah, it's further away up here. So let's see if we just retest this breakout line and then bounce, or if we fall back down, VIX is going back below 20 again. It's gonna fill this gap. This could be a gap fill all the way to 20 bucks again. Let's actually mark this out. This is a great target for VIX today if that breaks. So we'll stay long calls until it gets down here. You see Apple, Facebook, everybody's kind of like turning up. Now these could be bear flagging, or they could be better reversals. There was a hammer here. Not really a hammer through Facebook yet, but let's see if this could be false, and we could always reload on the put side. So you never have to feel bad about taking profit because of the current information on the table. Let's see, 255. There's a hammer right there. These are 256 puts. Let's throw some fibs on here. $12.50 to $185. Yeah, I don't know. Not positive yet. I'm looking at this rejection, or is this going to break through? Trend Spider's kind of in the same point. It's printing candles above here. I really want to see this little imaginary line be broken. Let me see if I can sometimes when you refresh, or you know what, I might have to go to all lines to get that one. Yeah, see, it's still not connecting these for me. So we'll stay away from that for now. Oh, it looks pretty bullish though. VIX is at that 9 EMA on the 5. Let's check futures. Is this a cup and handle? What the heck's going on? Hang on. I got to look at a bigger chart real quick. Maybe... All right, so there is a descending triangle right here. And if it breaks out, that's definitely bullish. We could see this go, maybe make a lower high, or maybe make a new high. That's pretty, if it hits this line up here, that could be our 2600. 2600 was a pretty big level. This might be coming back today. Once we start trending above this 200 SMA on the 5, you better believe it. Just the fact that we're it does look bullish, but we got to watch this to see what happens. So we're close to getting a good, we're close to getting a really good buy or sell signal soon, guys. Yes, on my Trend Spider chart, I have, I just did the 5-minute trend line, but if I do the daily, it compresses everything, which is terrible for me viewing in this way, but also for you guys viewing in this way. And there's no daily lines we need to worry about right now. So we're more concerned with just the 5-minute lines. Yeah, the only way to get rid of it is to just start deleting lines. So if I did daily and I zoomed, I could just start deleting all these or creating alerts or something, but I don't want to mess with it. And now, let's see, we getting a green? Yeah, they're actually marking this as a breakout signal, but I don't trust this through here. I should grab one of my kids' rulers and hold it up to my monitor. Okay, well, I got a checkbook handy, so I'm holding up my checkbook to my monitor, and until those break, I am not moving it, right? So to show you guys what I mean, this is what I mean. This is obviously not going to be a straight line, but there's kind of a line through here. That's not too bad, actually. So if we start printing like this, that's my target. Make sense? Red circles are breakdowns, green circles are breakouts. And what do we got for time? Ooh, this is gonna print. That's a very bullish candle, guys. All right, let's look at man, I really wish I bought the dip now. We only lost about 20 bucks here. This thing might roll. I'm gonna take, I think I'm very tempted to take a small trade on these. Nothing too crazy. Let's just do 3. See if I get filled. All right, I moved that up a little bit. So looking for this to maybe retrace halfway between $5 in there. I really will just take profit on those calls if I get to this line. So I'm actually going to set an alert for anything. Ooh, 1 minute. Ooh, this is a new update. You guys might not have this yet, but I'm using the beta, and they've been saying 1 minute has been coming soon, but I have 1 minute right here, and that's SPY R and SPY profit zone. Apple is looking pretty strong on the 5 minute too. Let me just check this real quick. Yep, so 1 minute. 1 minute hits that trend line, I'm going to get an alert. It's going to let us know. EMW. What are our rules? Oh, super low float. Oh, 200K. I don't know. I've never seen a 20K float. But those, I really look at it in terms of millions. Oh, shares. Oh, gotcha. My big rule is 50,000 share candles on the 1 minute. That's kind of a standard rule for most low float penny stocks. In terms of a major volume rule to follow. Let me show you. I mean, DCIX is a low float. And those are 5 minute candles. I mean, you've got the majority of these candles in the morning well above 50,000 shares. So that's really good liquidity for a bounce trade off a green hammer, right? That's not too shabby through here. These candles through here, that's a little worrisome because you're below that 50,000 marker. But in general, because these are majority of these candles are above 50, it's more of a tradable stock where you can liquidate 2,000, 3,000 shares kind of quickly and still make a couple bucks. And actually DCIX looks like it wants to break out of a wedge right there. Yeah, 50K per 1 minute. That's a really good rule to just not get stuck and not have any liquidity, and something with 5,000, 10,000. Now if it moves slow and you look at the average daily volume, and it's kind of a slow mover. It's not as volatile. That's okay. So like if it's a larger float, you'll be able to get away with doing something like that. But with these low floats, you know, you might make 10 cents in a much higher float with the same scenario, with more or less in that 50,000 share territory. So yeah, I don't know why my trend spider, I gotta go check my other monitor and see if or my other computer, I might have another trend spider window open. I mean, AMD, you don't even have to worry about it because let's look at AMD real quick. I mean, AMD, you're talking, some of these are over $1 million. You're always going to have at least 50,000 shares. Even on these lower ones, they're like 350,000 on some of these smallest ones. And let's see, Apple crossed VWAP bullish. Facebook still looks like it's putting in a belt hold. DCIX still wedging. AMD kind of rejected a little bit. Future SPY, watching those closely. There's kind of a big red candle on 1 minute, so I got to be careful of these calls and watch this level. VIX is getting a pop right now, so need to watch that pretty close, see if it rejects. SPY's dropping back into that triangle, so gotta be careful there. Maybe we end up back inside that triangle, which would not be fun. Yeah, this chop cut does kind of suck right now. We're probably going to go right back to support and just bounce again. Which is luckily close. So I'm going to stick with it for a little bit longer. I do like the bullishness in Apple. Facebook doesn't look terrible. Just the other things that I'm looking at. You could see futures got support. I mean, it's already just bouncing pretty heavy right here. Apple's moved up kind of nice. Facebook's putting in a belt. DCIX looks pretty sucky still. Yeah, it did. Did this cross above VWAP? No, it's still way down there. So I'm just looking at some scanners right now, seeing what else is going on. Not seeing anything else interesting yet, other than just Apple. Apple is interesting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these shippers are pretty mean. They can be pretty mean at times. Okay, let's see. Volatility. Yeah, there was an alert on ADIL at 10:13, but on Black Box, but it quickly fell right back below it. Let's check out options flow. Look at Facebook starting to go a little bit here. I'm going to do a little bit more analysis on the VIX today, just make sure what we're doing is right. It's possible we're stuck below that right now. Where's that 50 SMA is at 2090. I need that to reject pretty hard here. So actually, let me remove all these studies for a minute. That was the falling wedge breakout, and then it looks like we're gonna make a lower high through here, and the VIX will move lower. The only thing that concerns me is this this trend line down here. It's kind of a major support all through here. So yeah, it could come down. I'd like to see a physical touch of it, which we haven't had. Looks like futures are breaking out a little bit here. Yeah, I think we're good. I think the VIX is going to just grind lower throughout the day. This market just you just can't take it down, really. Just everyone's dip buying still. Look at this hourly candle on SPY. And that's how these big days start, with a big green hourly candle. And then you'll get a decent move up. Let's look at TrendSpider again at the moving averages. So you got that high wave candle at that weekly 9 EMA. Let's put the dailies back on here too. Let's see, that's at 258.30. Ooh, look at futures go. Oh, yeah, I'll show you that in a minute, Darren. At least I'm green on those calls. All right, let's look at what number did we say that was? 258.30. Oh, I got some room to run. All right, let me get that out of the way for a sec. Oh, that's that pre-market high there. Then we have this high. We have this low. Then we have this resistance, that 50. But this 258.30 is a really... I'm actually going to mark it at 25. And I'm going to make it a different type of color so I don't forget. Okay, so maybe it's quite a ways to go still. That is a big green candle, and we got a few seconds left to print over 256.76. So let's do it. I like this. All right, so yeah, if you want to do that, you're going to go to your sidebar here and just basically pick a gadget. You can go up to any one of these gadgets and switch gadget and just do quick chart. And if you click quick chart, you can then put the symbol in and color code it however you want. But I just keep this like this for you guys. Yeah, Facebook just looked, I was really thinking Facebook was going to reverse. And it did. It was putting in this strong base right through here. And now we got it rolling. Probably come back and retest this wedge. Move a little bit higher. It's going to respect that pre-market low. Those pre-market lows are keys, guys. Pre-market highs, pre-market lows, intraday highs, intraday lows. Right? So now we got to deal with right here this 50% pivot point. But what I like what I'm seeing is that, remember that trend line on Trend Spider. Again, I'm watching this really closely if we're going to reject here or not. That's the only thing in the way in terms of moving averages that matter. So I got to go back to the 5, back to the day. I don't need all this noise, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And then there you go. So we got an alert set right here. That's an important trend line. That's 257.25. 257.25. So we'll watch that for profit. We should probably mark that out on here too. At or above. That looks good. All right, good stuff. Let's see what else we got. I'm just checking the black box scanner and the trade idea scanner. This one's getting some mega volume. Found this on Trade Ideas. Looks like a nice wedge. Looks like it's breaking into a new daily range too, which is nice. 1782. This thing could get there today. I'd look for a dip here. Would look for a dip here for sure. But that 1782 is looking like the target now that we're in this new bracket. My call on SPY is 257.30 or hold up. Yeah, 257.30 is pretty strong resistance on SPY. So I might take profit there and just see how it reacts. We're in a pretty nice. You have to kind of count the uptrend for SPY from 950 until about now. So if we're smart, we'll take profit there because we've been in an uptrend for 40 minutes, and that's typically when they like to switch gears on us. So we'll take profit. We're getting kind of close. New 5-minute candle forming now on SPY. Sorry, I'm looking at different charts. I'm talking about one chart, but I got a different chart up. All right, I think I'm going to take profit here just because we're right within the zone and we've been up for a while. So if you guys are in those, I would close them. Trend spiders confirming that came pretty close to close enough to our trend line. I had the sensitivity turned up a little bit, so within a couple pennies it will start to tell us that we've already kind of bounced off that sensitivity zone. So that's the first alert, and we can just click OK. So that's letting us know. Good area to take profit right through there. Triggered. And it didn't quite trigger on Thinkorswim, but I don't want to hold here because you got to look at this. 950 uptrend, little bit of a pullback to the 9 rip, and now we'll probably reverse for the next half hour or so, because that's what the market does, guys. That's what it does. It's what every single stock on the planet goes up, goes down, goes sideways. And let's look at puts. We just keep going back and forth. We don't really care either way. Let's see if we see anything. Yep, you're smart, Santa. So VIX, I mean, VIX is still bearish, but it's like oversold. It's oversold right now. VIX has been down for a while. Could see a little bit of a pop up. I don't know if I'm too eager to hop into another trade right now. I might just kind of look around and kind of get a feel for things. I still think futures wants to hit this bull target. I'm just not comfortable. Holding if we reject off of this. If we consolidate and then start to break above here, then it's a different story. And let's see, this is with new analysis. Let's throw the daily on. No daily trend lines in the way. There's the 50 SMA up there. I don't know. We might break out through here. It's very possible. That's up around 260. We should probably lock this one too. Alright, so we got that one locked. Let's throw on more lines. We can lock this one. Good stuff, Jenny. GDAX, no. No, I don't. Because I'm not always positive that it's the best place to take profit. So here's the thing. If I took profit here like I just did on the calls, and entered into puts, I mean, it might break this resistance and move up. And this line's not as major, so it might just continue to move up. And if I entered puts, I mean, I'd rather exit at resistance and then just see if it's going to break it. Like here, it's kind of consolidating, kind of nice. Makes me question if we're going to move up. This is a spinning top doji candle. Yeah, Apple still has this 153.50 trade that makes me want to go for it. I don't know what you see, Santa, but I got 153.50 on my charts as a good target. It's right about, let's see, TrendSpider's got it a little bit different. There's that 9 EMA on the daily at 152.15. So that's not a lot of meat on the bone, unfortunately. So would like to know if we break that 9 EMA. Would really like to see us break this channel. Looks to be the one that is the most interesting for me, right? So Bollinger Band 152.80. Just removing that alert. The heck are my Bollinger Bands not showing up? Here we go. Yeah, there's that middle band right there. So Facebook's dipping, Apple's dipping. We could set an alert right there for a 1 minute candle. Touch that middle Bollinger Band, switch to the 5 minute chart. Get rid of that. It's odd. I don't know why I can't see the middle Bollinger Band. Should be right there, but it's not. Oh, I see. Hang on. That's why. It's still not showing up the way I want it to. Maybe trader, you never know. Hedging could just be, people, you got to look and see if there's big block trades of people selling at the bid. Let me look and see what kind of sweeps we have on SPY for the 250. Let's see what we got for blocks. Why is my filter? Huh. That's interesting. Mostly blocks and sweeps on SPY. Yep. Futures ripping. This might be where I'm gonna look at another setup. I really like this Apple setup to make a move to 154.20. There's that 200 SMA. There's that 50 SMA. We get the 9. Let's see how the Fisher transform. Yeah, maybe. Could see one of these days where this thing just rides the 9. Yeah, I'm not ready to make another trade yet. I'm not getting a good buy or sell signal. Either way, I'm getting... Until SPY really starts to break out. So for me, I need to see 257... Above 257.50 on SPY would be nice. There's a buttload of resistance there, and I feel like we might just kind of either trade sideways, cool off a little bit, kind of trap everybody. So I think I'm feeling like there might be some afternoon or lunchtime trades, maybe early afternoon. Unless I see something really good. Let's take a look at Roku. This one might be good for puts right now. Just started to dip below that 9 EMA. Let's see, 41.35. I got support at 40.65. A little bit of support there, a little bit of support there. Let's just check out Roku. I'm just looking at Roku on the black box scanner. It was a small 42 put sweep. What's the expiration? Oh, that's not till... Oh, that's for tomorrow's, huh? Not a ton of volume there. AMRN, that was that one that had that rising wedge, right? Yeah, look at that sucker. Dang. 1785. Whew. Consolidated right there and then ripped. That was the one right there. Took my eyes off of it. But, you know, typically these rising wedges like this was right where we were looking at it, so... The smart thing would have been if I created an alert with the drawing, then we would have got alerted on that, and we would have got alerted at like 16, just past 16 bucks, so that'd be $1.25. So my bad on that. Thank you, Lugnut, for sharing that. What's up, BMW? When playing a breakout like that, what do you wait for to break? I wait for a 5-minute candle to print above. Well, let's go to a 1 minute. You see the way this thing's been grinding at the 9 EMA. I would have both the 1 and 5 minute charts up like this. Split your screen. And the two biggest things you look for is once that 5 minute looks like it's going to print above this candle and the life of that candle is almost over, right? Like we just started a new one right here. Sync that up with your 1 minute chart for the cross, because this is actually this line actually crosses at 1605, so right about through here. So over here, this candle looks like it's about to print over that line, but on this side it's pulling right back to that 9 EMA and volume is coming in. So your buy signal is you have a volume trend starting to go up right here. And see how that drew a circle right there? This candle was going to print above this major resistance. Major. And the fact that the life of that candle was almost over just gave you more of an indication that this thing was going to go on a tear and that the ultimate target is 1782. But take profit within 15 cents is always smart. When it's so far off, that's where the 1 minute comes into play. Right? So the 9 EMA on the 5 minute, yeah, it was pretty far off, right? But look how it pulled back, got just close enough. And that's where on the 1 minute candles you would have gone, okay, yep, I see what's going on here. And then you can take some risk, right? Does that make sense? Now it's definitely getting risky. You're really far off the 9. You only had one good opportunity right here. Everyone else is just chasing. And they're probably going to get burned. And then this thing's going to come crashing down. Thanks, Lee. But that's it. So if you're day trading stocks, regular stocks, your 1 and 5 minute, at least for me, these are the tools that I use. Okay? 9 EMA, 1 minute pullback, run, patterns, signals. It's really defined. It's very defined. Risk is defined. Entry defined. Exit a little bit harder to predict on this one because you got to really just watch this 9 EMA on this 1 minute. Is this going to pop right here? You can see right here we're starting to get on the stochastic RSI. This might start to pop. But look, if this 1 minute candle prints below that 9 EMA through here, you're going to see more rollover. That's going to be an exit. And this is already looking pretty toppy. You got a minute and a half left. This looks like potential tweezer top or evening star, like you were saying. High wave. Oh yeah, doesn't matter what the rumor is. Always follow the technicals. Right? This could get one more wave right through here up to 1782. That's an 80-cent run. It's very possible here. Very possible. And I would take profits even so before 1782 because the machines and people are all watching this level. So let's see what happens with the volume. This kind of looks like one wave to a third wave being the smallest. This would be a great short area. But then again, people could get squeezed. You don't know if they're going to get squeezed. Damn, I should have bought those Roku puts. Those are looking better right now. It looks like SPY might be looking to move. make a move. 41.29. It's not a lot of money on these. I want to just look at something else if you guys don't mind. Let's pull up there was that sweep that somebody picked these up. $238. Kind of a descending triangle breakout, but doesn't look that strong. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with Roku. Apple does look nice, huh? All right. Let's see what we can put together. Yeah, look at that Facebook flag. Good call. It's a little... I'm a little skeptical of it because that 50 SMA is right there. That thing is like, can be the bane of your existence. This 50 SMA can hold it down if you're trying to go long. It actually looks like it could cross it. It's just got limited. I feel like a lot of the upside on these trades are limited. I think I like Apple better than Facebook, personally. Because it's already above the 50, 200's next. Let me look at TrendSpider. Yep, Santa's watching the same thing. All right, here's what this has got me. Why is this chart like this? Hang on. There we go. My zoom was all wacky. All right. There's that 200 SMA and the 5. Actually, this is that line I told you guys about earlier that really interested me. Is this one? I feel like we're breaking this down channel, and this 50 SMA is going to start to curl up, and we're going to make a flag, and then we're going to move up, and we're going to break all this, and Apple's going to rip. So I'm buying Apple calls. I'm just going to start looking at them now. I'm going to take some risk. I'm feeling like taking some risk. Who doesn't like to take a risk, right? As long as it's calculated. All right, so let's see. We're at 152. 155 calls. How's the volume on those? Looks pretty good. Volume today, 2,800. Daily open was 182. Ah, it's right there. It's right where it started. All right, let's it's resistance. Those were nice yesterday. Descending triangle. What's that? 225. Can make a little money on these maybe. Netflix starting to doji. Let's see, boom. There's that crossover. Do I need to wait for a dip here? Hang on, let me think about this. I'm going to wait for a little bit of a dip here. We just got a 950 crossover on the 5-minute chart. So I'm going to let it dip a little bit. Got my finger on the trigger. Yeah, I'm not ready. We've still been in this downtrend on VIX. I don't want to pull the trigger on these Apple calls yet. It's possible that we see these things pull back down to like 142 first. I'm actually gonna create an alert right there. VIX can move another 25 cents down. Let's check VXX. Oh, that's about to break a pretty... That's a bad breakdown. You see that thing break, it's gonna be ugly. Then we're going all the way down there. And then I wish I grabbed these 155s. I'm on the fence right now with the setup. There's that 200 SMA. We've already been moving up for quite a bit. I see a couple of you guys raised your hands. If you guys want to type in the chat room with questions, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, if it's lower than pre-open, right? There's got the I mean, it's above the pre-market low, but it's still right, so it's above the pre-market low, which is good. But there's also all this resistance from the after hours, where the kind of the end of day. This was like the intraday dip. This is an interesting target. This could be a resistance I don't want to get stuck in. And VIX is very close to support, but Apple could go on a super huge tear here very quickly, and I don't want to miss it. Good stuff, Rick. Very happy. If you guys want more of a defined risk management with the 9 EMA, I did a whole video on day trading in the day trading section. That's in the next level training video. Make sure you check that out. Good stuff, Santa. I just didn't feel... I think you're probably good. I'm just not ready. I'm looking at entering here soon too. Oh, I hate when this trend line keeps doing that. We're like right there. right there for a nice move up. Thanks, Big Bear. I just read your comment, man. I appreciate it. The good news is that Lucian and I are going to be making a lot more content for you guys. I feel like today is a really good training day. I'm showing you guys these plays. You might want to. I'm definitely going to highlight this one in the replay section, but this is kind of what I was worried about with Apple. Now it could consolidate here and still break, but I want a little bit more consolidation, and I'm kind of using this stochastic RSI down here to kind of help me with my entries a little bit. And I think there's still a really good play. Now the thing that was worrying me about going long is where VIX is. We've been in this downtrend on VIX. It's in a bit of a falling wedge. It's oversold. You can see it kind of pops crazily off of oversold a lot. So it might be a good idea to look at the other side of the trade for a little bit. But then again, VIX could also break through these levels. So charting volatility is very tricky. And here on TrendSpider, again, there's that Apple. There's that 200 SMA. Here's the trend lines. I was kind of anxious about these, but you could see a really green pasture if we could clear that. Could have been a nice run. Not much in the way of it in terms of daily moving averages. I do think there's some weeklies that are in the way. Let's get rid of these. Ding. Come on. All right, let's refresh. All right, I don't know why none of my weekly trend lines are showing up on the 5-minute. Here we go. There's the weekly 9 EMA. But look at that daily breakout. This would be a great area. Great area to target Apple. Shied away from it before, but this is where you would just turn the sensitivity up. Actually, hang on, let me delete this one. There's sensitivity. So maybe within like 80 cents. Get a nice little alert right there. Yeah, I'm looking at the next Friday, Darren. Yeah, Gann is pretty awesome. Big Bear. There's debates about his success, but if you really look at the usefulness of it, it's a very useful technique, Gann technique. Now, I'm not into the squaring of things, and I have a hard time with the time, but in the way that he does the square of 9 and figures out all these different numerology type formulas, I just look at just the angles. I like the whole degree thing. I'm very much a guy that likes angles and degrees and notices trends between 45 degrees and 26.5 degrees and 7 and 14 and all these different degrees of momentum. And so Gann got me really thinking about trading in terms of that, and it's helped me out a ton with my trading. And I actually used a little bit of Gann theory here on my Facebook. This is actually one I really want to get beyond earnings before I take any type of a bigger swing trade. But I'm looking for Facebook to pull back actually to this line right through here. Let me make this one different color. Okay. All right. So this is the bottom of the wedge. And I believe this, when I drew this, this is a 26.5 degree line. It's not perfect, but I attempted to draw a 26.5 degree line. This is the rising wedge. So if I get a retest of these green dots near this trend line right here, I'm going to go long on Facebook. If it happens after earnings, I might wait till after earnings. We'll kind of have to see, but I'm expecting a bit of a dip moving into earnings on Facebook. We just got above the 50 SMA. We're just starting to roll over in terms of momentum. So there's definitely some good swing trades coming up. Yep. Powell's coming on at power lunch, so we'll see how the market reacts. Sometimes they like what he says, other times they don't. So don't think just because the last few times he spoke, the markets have gone up, that it's going to happen again. There's that flag on Facebook. And Apple daily candle is strengthening. Man, is Apple right on its 9 EMA daily? It is. It is. It absolutely is. You can't see it as clearly on my chart, but there's that 9 EMA daily right there. There's the 20. That's going to get in the way first. Where's that one? That one's up at 157.70. Oh, that would be a nice trade today. We'll have to watch how markets react, guys, at lunchtime. Might be a fun lunch. You could see a pullback in Apple to 147, or you could see it rip. You could really see it rip to 157. So there's a big potential range. We could back test this trend line, or we could hit this 20 EMA. That's kind of my thoughts. I actually want to lock this trend line too and create an alert at this one. Then we can switch to the 5, go back to the daily. Right, there it is. Yeah, let's do more lines. Lock. Maybe we lock this other one too, just to be safe. Yep. Yeah, so even just trading inside that range would be a pretty nice trade to 153. And then you got this one potentially. All right, let's see. Where's that 50? I mean, it's just the 200 SMA and the 5-minute in this trend line. That's our only problem right now. And I'm concerned of a false breakout. But it does kind of look flaggish through here. And then I'm monitoring VIX pretty closely on my other chart. I don't see any problems with VIX moving lower still. Let's see, we could always put VXX up here. All right, this is kind of a pretty big support right through here. Next it would go through here. I don't know why that's not changing this color to black. Normally when I lock it, it does. Kind of looking head and shoulders-ish. That looks like a nice support, man. And futures looks like it wants that 2600. It just keeps grinding. Looks like I could have held my calls a little bit longer. Ooh, look at that. All right, so I sold through here, broke through, and I tell you what, if Powell starts talking and the market continues to rip, I might have to hop on the SPY calls again. I'm trying to look at who's got the most, where we're going to get the most bang for our buck on our day trades. Supposed to speak at noon today. Let's see, looking at option scanner. $262 call sweep on SPY. That's my target up there. 259.75 would be pretty sweet. We would have to that's where we got to watch out though for that weekly. Remember, we got this sucker wants to ruin our day right there, so we don't want to forget about him. That's at 258.62, which we're creeping up. We're getting there. We're getting mighty close. Yeah, oh, sorry, yep. It's 12:40 that. So we got 47 minutes till Powell speaks. And then Bullard speaks. And then Evan speaks. So lots of Fed speakers today, just throughout the day. They're all going to be chatting up until really till the PM session of futures. All right, guys, it's almost 11:15. Today was awesome. Today was really good. I think we covered some really good stuff, some knowledge. This is going to be a good one for people to review if they missed. In terms of really using TrendSpider effectively, I think today was very insightful for that. Options, we talked about the 9 EMA, using that for signals. This is looking kind of bullish right now. If we start crossing this level, we'll get this. I got basically two resistances on SPY I'm watching. I do think I'll likely trade another options trade later today. I'd rather take the other side of the tape than this. Obviously, we've been in an uptrend for quite a while. So I'll leave you guys with paying very close attention to what volatility does here. You know, something like VIX or VXX. If these floors drop out, we'll see bigger pushes on SPY today. But my total upside target would be just under 260 today. Excuse me. Just under 260. I would say anything 259.75 is probably where I'm going to look to take profit. And that's if we break this 90 EMA on the weekly. It's been respecting that pretty good lately. So you can see how it bounced off of it in the last rally. But the fact that we're returning to it again, that's a very bullish sign. And we like signs like that. So, I mean, even if you look at the 60-minute chart and you get rid of your 60-minute stuff and you get rid of all your trend lines, you guys see that 9 EMA on the weekly? I mean, it fought all the way back to get to it. Rejected. Looks like it's going to try again, but look how many times it's failed. Only really one good time, and this was back in the beginning of December, which December was awful, right? So let's see what happens this time around. I think we're likely to test it today. So I'm going to go have some food. I'm starving today. Worked up an appetite talking and teaching and showing you guys signals, entries, and exits. And it was fun. So I will be around. I'm very interested to see what happens with the Powell stuff. I'd like to take a couple more trades this afternoon. Thank you guys. You guys rock. Love all of our Bullish Bears family. You guys are the best. And I will see you guys a little bit later. Enjoy.